Hello and welcome to Grumpy Old Men, our first show of the year as we look back to the good old days of AFL football. And tonight we're going to focus on the Tigers, Carlton, St Kilda and Melbourne. Bobby Davis is still grumpy because Geelong hasn't won a premiership since 1963. Tony Shaw is even grumpier because Collingwood lost the grand final last year and he still talks about that goal kick by Anthony Rocker. And Dougie Hawkins is even grumpier because the Bulldogs have not won a premiership since 1954. But it's a big welcome back to Doug, Tony and Bob.
Thank you, Kevin. And you're not grumpy at all, Kevin.
Why not, Bob?
Well, that fella that put you out, how many, 20 years ago, and you haven't been back, he's still there, is he?
What are you grumpy about over summer, Bob?
What about those umpires? Who is it at the AFL? It's turning them into precious little gentlemen. I mean, that is their job. They've accepted they get great payment for it. Some of them are making a career out of it. If you go on the stage, or you're a television personality, or even if you're a star footballer, you get booed and people go crooked. Let them go crooked. That's the Australian way.
We can't go abusing umpires from the side of the boundary line like Chris Connolly did a few weeks ago, surely, Bob?
He is entitled to if he feels that his players have been very unfairly dealt with.
Got a nasty
and there's
look in your eye,
nothing
Bob.
wrong.
What
There's nothing wrong with that.
What about the uniform colour? They're nice.
Oh, the uniforms, how are they? Could the league get another couple of departments to look after the umpire? It's unbelievable, is it? They're out there doing the job. If you get paid, how much, I don't know, but it's extravagant, whatever it is, they are there to be part of the game. And part of the game is bluing with the umpire. Let us blue with them. Let them get close to the boundary and say, you white lily-looking little maggot. Get into them.
They're orange now.
Take it easy, Bob. We don't want you actually breaking down on us before we get into the show.
Passionate about that.
Tony, you've been grumpy?
Yeah, I have been, KB. Collingwood losing 2 premierships in 6 months is pretty hard to take, isn't it? You know?
Oh, very sad. Very sad.
Wobbles there again.
And it's amazing they say it was so courageous too, the way they went
very
under.
courageous.
Very good. You're not unhappy about that?
No, I'm not unhappy.
I'll tell you what.
Doug is ecstatic.
I'm absolutely stunned. I'll tell you what I am grumpy about, though, the charging rule. Does anybody know what a charge is in league football? You're talking about umpires.
Yeah.
They report and then pull the reports out, and then it goes to the tribunal. They let one bloke off, let the other bloke...
I have no idea,
Give me the other bloke 4 weeks.
Hip and shoulder now, I think, has been cut out of our game.
Who's on the rules committee? Does anyone know who's on the rules committee?
What about the Wizard Cup?
But that's not the umpires. That's not the rules.
You're not on the rules committee, are you?
Of
Yes,
course
I am,
he
Bob.
is.
I am.
Oh, there's another thing to be grumpy about. But on the rules
But that's
committee.
not the rules committee's fault, Tony. If the umpire reports a player, then has to withdraw the rule.
Yeah, but the rule's got to be made known that there's no grey area, KB. It's not black and white. There's grey, there's pink, there's yellow, there's all in all
You've got
colours.
black and white on the brain.
No. Well, there's one thing about it, not like the rugby. That was black and white, wasn't it, Gordon? Tell us, how'd he get on? He never even got charged,
He
did
got
he?
sin binned.
What, for 10 minutes?
Yeah, exactly.
He nearly knocked the fella out for 20 minutes.
Doug, have you been grumpy over
Well,
summer?
I've been a bit dirty on the way Carlton have treated John Elliott. I mean, he'd been here for 20, 21 years.
You've
Three
been in
premierships.
Footscray that
Three
long.
premierships in 82, I think it was 87 and 95. And, OK, let's just...
Did he kick the winning goal?
No, no. The thing upsets me is the fact that they've taken his name off the grandstand. He gave 20 years of great service to that club, and I'm disappointed the way I think the Carlton Footy Club and supporters and probably some past players have treated John Elliott. It's been a voluntary role. I think he's been terrific in the good times of the club. OK, he left the club in a little bit of a financial problem. A little bit of a financial problem. But in overall, the whole package, I think John's been great for Carlton and he's been great for football.
It should be like your sign on the Western Oval. That's transportable, isn't it? Wherever they play away, they take your sign with them.
So I'm a bit grumpy on that, KB. I reckon they've treated Jack Elliott.
Where is the sign?
Sorry?
Where is the sign?
Dougie's? I don't know.
No,
Where
John
is it?
Elliott. What did they do with
They
it?
crossed it out.
They just wiped it off.
Just wiped it off.
Yeah, just wiped it off.
Yeah,
Put
got
some
some
other...
Dulux and put over it.
Pretty hard.
I'm a bit dirty on that. A bit snaky on that.
I'm with Dougie on that. Pretty hard.
Are you?
Yeah, well, he did 20 years and have had a lot of success, and he makes a mistake over the last probably 8 or 9 years, but he paid a fair price.
But the worst part about it, he didn't know anything about it.
Of course. Yeah, he did.
He didn't know anything about the 32 million behind. He knew nothing about it.
It might be early dementia, Bob.
Bob, you mentioned something before. I'll tell you what I'm grumpy about. I'm grumpy about blokes like you and Tony Shaw and Doug Hawkins having a crack at the Rules Committee all the time. Because the way that you talk, you think that the Rules Committee is actually changing the rules. The Rules Committee don't change the rules. That's why we've done such a great job.
So what do? You
Pat
make a
myself on the
submission.
back.
You make a submission and then somebody else changes it.
No, people
What are you
think we're
doing
changing
then?
the
What are we
rules.
paying you for?
What? It's former players and commentators who see the rules in the Wizard Cup and the pre-season competition, and they think they're the rules that are actually in the game. And all the commentators actually speak about it. What about flooding last
this
year?
one here?
The 9-pointer.
That's the
Kev, you
9-point
made
rule.
that decision, the 9-pointer, didn't you, Kev? Did you
No.
know it's part of you?
No, you see, again, that's
Well,
why I'm going crook, Doug.
Who made that?
See, the Rules Committee didn't bring in the 9-pointer.
Well, who did?
The coaches brought in the 9-pointer. And the AFL.
And you ratify it, do you?
No.
So what do you do?
What is your... What
do you do,
actually
Kev?
do you get your grand remuneration for at the end of the season?
No, we we get nothing, Bobby. What we do is we do the regular premiership season. And we had nothing to do with the rules in the
Well, what
Wizard
are
Cup.
these two dumbbells here? Have a look at these. Don't tell me you can't boo those. One saying it's 1 point, one saying it's 3 points. You don't even know what colour his shirt he's got on. Fair dinkum.
Well, Bob,
That's
very
a 3
disappointed in you having a crack at the umpires because they do a fantastic job and they're not overpaid, Bob.
They're not overpaid.
No. Bobby, make certain there's no